Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. That's right. It's time for the Eddie and Webby podcast. Yo, I'ma bust out some theme song action for you. Check it out. The Eddie and Webby show is the place to be. They're talking about beer and pickleball and technology. So if you didn't know, now you know. 'Cause it's time for the Eddie and Webby show.
On today's episode, Eddie and Webby show you how to make beef jerky with a food dehydrator. This is the Eddie and Webby podcast.
Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, and this is our 35th podcast.
Oh, yeah, episode number 35. I don't know about you. I can't believe how far we've come. 35? What?
35. We are here, and we are live. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. And for the one person that cares, we are live on Twitch.
That's right. And I hope if Twitch Chris is out there. Hi, Twitch Chris.
Hey,
Good
Twitch
to see
Chris. Hi. Hope you love our show. We do have a good show for you, actually, today. As you always know, this is meant to be interactive.
Yes.
So if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, on Facebook, we've already mentioned those. Go ahead and throw comments, questions in the chat there. We like to interact. And we do have a good show today. We have a special guest. We have lots of pickleball.
Yes.
But I do want to bring up one thing here that's really important.
What's that?
We're changing up our format a little bit. And
What?
stay tuned towards the end. Yeah, right? Because we're going to have our drawing for the t-shirt contest. For those of you that predicted correctly who won the Eddie versus Webby 2.5 match, and for the best pickleball-themed wrestler name, we're going to have that drawing towards the end of the episode. And we might have some other changes that we're going to be introducing here shortly. But before we do any of that, Webby, what's going on in Twitter?
Yes, Twitter. Twitter has been blowing up like crazy. Let me go ahead and pull Twitter up and see what's going on in the Twitter sphere here. Here's a comment from John Lanin. He says, episode 34 of the Eddie and Webby podcast was by far the best episode yet. In fact, Eddie should do the rest of the podcasts without Webby. Oh, that's not. I mean, it was partly really nice, but partly not so nice for me. But
then it got a little mean all of a sudden.
A little bit, but I mean, I got to agree with him though. You did an awesome job, man. Episode 34 down in Florida with all those pros during the that tournament down there, the tournament that Simone put on. Man, oh man, that was good. You did awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's do another comment here on Twitter. Here's one from Lobby David. I would like your podcast a lot more if you didn't talk about yourselves so much. More guests and less Eddie and Webby, please.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I can understand what you're saying, Lobby. It's kind of mean still, but we take your feedback to heart, and that might have something to do with the format changes we're going to be introducing here shortly.
Yeah. Thanks for the feedback. Let's do one more comment on Twitter. Here's one from Rocky Balboa Jackson. At Eddie and Webby, you have an excellent podcast, guys, but why are the Eddie versus Webby matches always doubles matches? If you want to know who the better player is, you need to do a singles match.
Interesting.
It's actually a good suggestion, and that's not the first time I've heard people say that. I've had people confront me about that and say, why don't you guys ever do a singles match? And you know what, Eddie? I think we should do a singles match. In fact, I think Eddie versus Webby 3 should be a singles match. What do you think?
I think so. Are you thinking it's going to be full court singles or skinny singles?
To be honest, I absolutely hate full court singles, so I am all about skinny singles. We could do like full court skinny singles, where you alternate going straight across and diagonal like every other point and stuff like that. But I say hell no to full court singles, but hell yeah to skinny singles.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. I accept your challenge for Eddie versus Webby 3 to do
All
singles.
right. I like it.
Yes.
And I feel
Yes.
like then we will finally find out who the better man truly is on the pickleball court.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think that would be a good idea. So thank you for sharing that and the Twitter comments. We talked a little bit about some of the format changes that we're thinking about here. Guys, I want you to know we listened to your feedback. We've done a couple surveys and we find out that you guys do like when we talk about pickleball, beer, and technology, but mostly pickleball. So what we're going to be doing is shortening our beer segment a little bit. We're still going to have beer involved in the podcast, just not going to do a full-blown review. We might be able to do some really fun things with that, but don't worry. If you usually, turn the show off during the beer part, just stick through it. It's going to be short, but interesting for those who do like beer. Right?
Yes, indeed. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting kind of thirsty already. So how about before we get to our special guest, we crack open a couple beverages?
That would be good. Why don't you talk about the beer that you'll be drinking today?
Why, yes, I just so happen to have a beer with me right here. And this beer comes from Old Nation Brewing Company. And this is called M43. This is a New England IPA. I absolutely love this beer. It's one of my favorites. And that's what I'll be drinking.
Nice. That is one of my favorite New England IPAs as well. Honestly, the only one that I think that I consistently like better than that is Soup's Juice from Perrin, which we reviewed before and thoroughly enjoyed that.
Another delicious one. And I actually even have my Old Nation glass here and everything. So for all those people that have complained about the type of glass I use in the past, this should hopefully make you happy.
Yeah, Adam Deem is out there right now, I see. So Adam will be happy that you have the correct glass for properly tasting a beer today.
Cheers, Adam.
Yeah. Cool. The beer that I'm going to be drinking is actually from my good friends over at Fort Myers Brewing Company. I've talked about them before. They are, in my opinion, the best brewery in Florida, if not all of America. This High Five is their IPA. It's kind of their flagship IPA, and it is delicious. It's my go-to beer. Pretty much any restaurant down here, you'll see High Life from Cigar City, and then right next to it, you'll see High Five. And typically, I'll always go for the High Five if I see it there. It's just such a great IPA, easy to drink, but still packs a good punch of hops. It has Citra hops in it, which is some of my favorite, and I love this beer. I wish we could spend a whole episode reviewing it, but all I'm going to say is I'm going to enjoy drinking it.
And I say we give each other a virtual high five.
Wait, hey-o.
Yeah, we can do it right here. There we go.
Yeah. All right, nice.
But yeah, I love that beer. Anytime, the last 2 times I've been down in Florida, we had that. You had it on tap at your house before the East Naples Winter Classic, and man, that's delicious beer. That was a very great choice on your part.
Yes, very, very good. Very good beer. All right, we're about to get to a guest interview, but before we do that, there's one thing that I want to say to you guys, and that is when the podcast is over, and we're trying to keep it under 1 hour. When it's over, though, if you guys want to interact with Eddie and Webby, we're going to be introducing a new segment called Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby. So we're going to close out the show like we normally do. We're going to have our guest interview, and then immediately after, we're going to keep the stream going, and we're going to jump right back on, and we're going to be just talking about stuff that's going on with us. It's not going to be part of the Eddie and Webby podcast. It's going to be kind of an add-on for it. And if you guys want to be on Eddie or Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby, and you have access to either a cell phone or laptop, a strong Wi-Fi connection, and preferably some earphones with a microphone, something like that, we might be able to bring you onto the show. So stick around with us after the show. It's going to be fun. It's going to be raw, uncensored, good time. And I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, I think it should be very fun. And for any people out there that couldn't care less about what Eddie and Webby are doing on the pickleball court, then you'll be totally fine tuning out after the regular podcast ends. For those of you that do care about what we're doing, just stick around for Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But I say we get to our special guest. What do you think about that?
I think we should. I'm going to be monitoring Facebook. If you guys have questions for our guest, I'll be able to pipe in here and there and ask them.
Very nice, very nice. But yeah, we are huge fans of having guests on the show who are making a big impact in the world of pickleball. And today's guest is definitely one of those people. She is so passionate about pickleball that she decided to quit her day job to focus on pickleball and start a new business that revolves around pickleball. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Katie McKee. Katie, thank you very much for joining us tonight. How's it going?
It's going good. I'm actually on shift at Chicken and Pickle to sneak away into the rooftop deck to do this interview.
Oh, nice. I think you cut out a little bit. Where'd you say you're at right now?
I'm at Chicken and Pickle, Wichita. I'm on our rooftop deck. It's not open to the public yet, so you're kind of getting a sneak peek here.
Nice. And I love that backdrop there. Got some beer and some pickleball paddles there. That's perfect for our show, the background there that you got. And I've seen a lot of posts about Chicken and Pickle. I definitely need to check that place out sometime soon. It looks like an amazing place. Seems kind of like a little taste of paradise, if you ask me, even though I've never been there. From what I've seen, it looks pretty incredible. I definitely want to be there sometime very soon.
God.
So let's just get right down to the nitty gritty. When did you first get into pickleball? How did you get introduced to it?
About a year and a half ago, I was playing in a USTA match, so a tennis league in Topeka, Kansas. Jack Oxler was running the tennis center I was playing at. He saw me playing tennis and asked me to play in the Sunflower State Games with him in a pickleball tournament. I didn't really know much about pickleball. I didn't know how to keep score. I didn't know the rules. I agreed to play with him. So a few weeks later, we played 5-0 mixed doubles at the Sunflower State Games. We lost our first match, and I was really disappointed. So I was kind of apologizing to Jack, and he told me the people we were playing against were actually pretty good. So I started Googling them when I got home, and it was Matt Wright and Lucy Kovalova. And
oh, wow.
I figured that was a pretty okay loss for my first 5-0 match, but we ended up getting second at the Sunflower State Games. I got hooked right away. After I got back to Kansas City, which is where Jack and I were living at the time, I took some lessons from Jack. I saw Lucy hitting her two-handed backhand. I didn't know that was possible with that small grip, so I started working on my two-handed backhand, modeling it after Lucy. I watched a bunch of videos. I tried to figure out how she was holding the paddle and like where her finger was going on the back, and I just went out and drilled and drilled and drilled until I got it down. So that's one of my main weapons now, but I just started playing a lot of tournaments with Jack. He was nice enough to play with me when I wasn't a very good player yet, and he really helped me out a lot. So that's kind of how I got started. I had actually played one time before at my tennis club, which was partially owned by the guy who now owns all of Chicken and Pickle. So he did kind of a pickleball party at my tennis club that I played at, and that was actually the first time I played, was there. Missy Kaut was the head pro's wife. She taught me how to play, how to keep score a little bit. So yeah, it was her, and then Dave Johnson and Jack Oxler. Jack is now the head pro at Chicken and Pickle, Kansas City. So yeah, it's kind of how I got started.
That's awesome. What a start. I mean, feeling bad about losing to Matt and Lucy in one of your like first big games. That's that's pretty incredible right there. That's awesome. So before we get too far,
I didn't know.
Before we get too far into the pickleball discussion, I say we get to know a little bit more about Katie and her background. So, like, where are you originally from, and where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in South Central Kansas, kind of right on the Kansas-Oklahoma border, about 60 miles southwest of Wichita, Kansas. I grew up on a farm. I've worked hard all my life. My parents really instilled a very strong work ethic in all of their children. I have 2 sisters and a brother. I'm the youngest. My older sister, Kelly, 4 years older than me, started taking me out to play tennis with her when I was about 10 years old. She was playing high school tennis, and she just needed someone to hit with every once in a while. So I kind of got obsessed with it. I started getting books and videos, like VHS tapes, because I'm old enough, that's all we had back then. I started teaching myself how to play tennis better. So I literally taught myself how to play, and then my sister helped me out a lot, and then I had a coach when I got up to high school that kind of fixed everything that my 10-year-old self had taught me wrong. So that's how I got started with tennis. I played basketball. I started playing traveling basketball in the 4th grade. I played up until high school. When I hit high school, I decided to focus mainly on tennis because I needed a scholarship for college. I paid for college out of my pocket. So I just really laser focused on tennis after my sophomore year of high school. I had to give up basketball. I was on the track team. I played volleyball. I played softball.
Nice.
But yeah, I gave up everything about my junior year of high school and just started focusing on tennis. So that's kind of my athletic background.
All right. Now, I heard a rumor that you paid for college in a pretty interesting way, like the way that you earn money to pay for college. Do you mind talking about that a little bit?
That sounds a little risque without any explanation, but
Yeah, I guess it does kind of.
It was totally legal and respectable, but my dad worked for independent oil companies. He was a landman, so he taught me how to lease farm ground for mineral rights for these oil companies that we worked for. I did that part-time throughout college. I actually wrote my first lease when I was 18. Dad sent me to the farmer's house along with him. I explained the contract to them. I had them sign it. My dad notarized it, and that was the first lease I ever wrote. Got someone to sign and notarize and recorded in the courthouse in my hometown. So that paid for a lot of my college. It was a good job. It was hard work. I was also a graduate research assistant for the university I was at. That helped to pay for my MBA program. So I was assigned to operations management. I taught students that needed extra help in that class, or students who, for some reason or another, couldn't make it to the 8 a.m. class. They would come to me, and I would teach them at a time that worked for them. I actually had one student who was in a band. His name was Brandon Miller, and he was actually part of a group that was nominated for a Grammy this year. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice.
He was. Yeah, it's Brandon Miller.
So you actually know multiple people that have been nominated for a Grammy, because I don't know if you realize this, but Eddie and myself actually came home with a couple of these bad boys recently. So
what are those?
You guys. What's that?
What are those?
We this is the Grammy for the best pickleball themed hip hop album of the century, or something like that.
That's amazing.
If you go to our YouTube channel, there's a little video about that. So, but anyways, enough about us. So, Eddie, I believe we have an interesting photograph on file of Katie during her high school days when she was in homecoming. I hope she's okay with us showing this. If you have that handy, I think we should show that. There it is.
Well, which one do you think is me?
My vote would be the one in the turquoise greenish dress.
Yeah, that's right.
So what's the story about the van? What's the story with that van there?
It was prom 2005, and me and my friends just wanted to do something a little different. I don't know if all the schools do this, but I went to a really small school, so it was like a big deal what you drove to prom, which now seems kind of silly to me, but my grandfather had this van that was just like bright orange and chromed out, and like the wheels were cool, and it had orange shag carpet and curtains inside. So we had Ty's mom, so the one with the longer hair in the suit, had a graphic design company. She made us the vinyl to go on the van, and we took it to prom.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yes. Hey, quick update here. We did have somebody post on Facebook. Mark Tellerico said, from all the videos I've seen of Katie, all I can say is she's a beast.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mark.
I agree with that.
I totally agree with that. 100%.
So that van,
Now,
I'm actually receiving that van soon. It's going to be a mobile retail shop for my apparel business.
Oh, nice. Speaking of your apparel business, what is that business called?
It's called Blaze Pickleball, and I don't really have much inventory right now, but I'm wearing a hat with my logo on it. I don't know if you can see it.
Nice.
Can you
I
see
can.
it?
I like that. I want one of those. How can I get one?
Well, we'll work something out.
Okay.
I have pretty limited time. I'll send you one.
Nice.
You have to.
So you're not quite ready to mass distribute quite yet then?
Not quite. Everything's in the works. I have T-shirts being printed out right now, so that's going to be my first like mass order. It's just T-shirts. I'll see how it goes. I'm starting really small. I hope it just blows up, but who knows? I know the pickleball community has always been pretty supportive of each other, so I'm hoping it goes well. And yeah, I have big plans. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely let me know once those are ready to go on sale. I definitely would purchase some stuff because I love your logo. I've seen you post some stuff on the pickleball forum and your personal Facebook page. I love your logo. And like you said, the pickleball community, they are a very loyal and passionate group, and they love to support each other. So I have a feeling you're gonna have quite a bit of success. Especially it's a great looking logo. I'm sure tons of people are gonna want hats and shirts with that on there. And I totally agree with what Mark said. You are a beast. So there's gonna be a lot of people that want to rock your apparel, no doubt, and hope to be able to play and make amazing saves and plays like you do on the pickleball court.
awesome, thank you.
So one thing I want to talk about at the beginning of the show when I introduced you, I talked about how you quit your day job so you could focus on pickleball and your new business venture. Talk about that a little bit. How was that? Was that like a nerve-wracking experience to take the plunge? Because I know it's something a lot of people would love to do, but people don't have the courage to do that. So how did that feel to go ahead and just do it?
I don't really encourage it. Like, it was scary. You have to have a certain type of personality. You have to know that you are willing to take risks, and you have to have kind of a cushion saved up so when you fall on your face, you're not, going bankrupt. And I worked at a healthcare IT company for 7 years before I made this jump, and I saved up most of my money. I was very frugal because I always knew I wanted to be an independent business owner. Eventually, I didn't think it would happen so soon, but when I saw pickleball blowing up so much after I started playing, I thought, now is a good time for me to try this. And I was just sitting at work one day having kind of a bad day, and over my lunch break, I filed with the state to form Blaze Pickleball LLC. And then within 2 weeks, I had quit my job. It was it seems like kind of a knee-jerk thing, but I had been planning it for 7 years. So a lot of people, my friends were worried about me, and I was just like, no, I'm wanting to do this. I planned it out. Everything is fine. It was scary, and it's still a little scary. But I do have this part-time job at Chicken and Pickle, which is great. They've been awesome to me, really for my entire pickleball career so far. I will be teaching private and group lessons here, so that's going to be my steady income that I know I'll have every month is my, the hours that I work here. I've been waking up at 4:30 every morning to work on Blaze Pickleball. I work nonstop, so I'll work from 4:30 until I need to come into work at Chicken and Pickle. And then I've been working usually 4 o'clock to close, so I get home at about 12:30 in the morning, 12 or 12:30, sometimes a little earlier. So I'm really grinding right now. I'm adulting so hard, but I really think it's going to be worth it. You have to grind for a while. You're starting a new business. It's a lot of hard work. But yeah, it's still scary, actually. I worry a lot. But, I have friends that are super supportive, and they just keep telling me, you're going to be okay. You're doing the right things with your company, and you do have this solid income. You've saved up a lot of money in the past. You're fine. So it's just, I do suggest if you're doing this, you need to have a huge support group and a huge support system, or else you're probably going to give up. Yeah, that's
see.
Really, it's not like happy-go-lucky advice, but it's so true. And I want to be real with people, and I don't want to lie and say that this is so awesome and it's like I'm having the best time of my life, because I am working hard, but it's so rewarding. It is kind of the best time of my life right now. It's just a lot of work. Yeah.
I love that. I love the fact that that you're honest about it, like brutally honest about it, but I feel like you're doing it right. And I feel like the timing is absolutely perfect because, like you said, right now pickleball is absolutely blowing up, but I feel like it hasn't even come close to the potential that it's going to reach. So I think right now is an awesome time. And I really love the fact that your current job to supplement income still has to do with pickleball. I mean, how awesome is that, Eddie?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I feel pretty lucky to be in a situation that I'm in, actually. This is great.
We have a couple comments here that kind of go along with that. Matthew Pace said, "Go Katie, blaze all the way."
Thanks, Matt.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Blaze all the way. Definitely.
Yep. We have one here from Daniel J. Howard Pickleball. He said, "Blaze Pickleball, I think you were encouraged to take the plunge."
Okay, so DJ encouraged me a lot to quit my job for a long time, and when I finally did it, I was like, thanks DJ for telling me for months to just quit my job. I finally did it. DJ helped me out a lot too. I'll be coaching with him with Level Up soon. So
nice.
He's always been a great supporter. He's also helped me out a lot with my game. I was in Michigan maybe a month and a half ago. We drilled for 3 days. I helped him with one of his beginner clinics. It was a blast. I truly think DJ is one of the best coaches in the country. I feel pretty fortunate to be able to work with him coaching. He's a great mentor and a great person. So yeah, that's my shout out for DJ. Prompted by DJ, prodding for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
nice.
Really cool.
He knows I'm
we have one more comment here, and this is something that you might be able to get into in a little bit, but it's from Ian Moss, and he was saying, "Can you ask Katie how she improves her game, and what drills does she do to help her game, and does she play singles?" So kind of a few different questions there.
Okay, so I don't want to give away all my secrets for what drills I do, but I work a lot on my soft game because I naturally have a decent power game just because I came from high-level tennis. I still need to work on my dinking and my soft game and like my backhand deep. So I'll just go out with a friend and have them deep cross court with me until I'm just sick and tired of it, which doesn't take long. So I really push myself to do it for longer. Um, I do play singles. I don't play singles very often. I tore my ACL in 2009, and I have arthritis in that knee now. It like shows up in X-rays as like big shadows, I guess. So that knee does swell up after I play pretty often. I am playing singles at the U.S. Open this year, so I need, what is it? That's only a month away. I need someone to please come practice with me. I'll get you court time at Chicken and Pickle.
So you talked about tearing your ACL. I tore my ACL probably about 15 years ago. It was a complete tear. I had to have reconstructive surgery. It got infected. I had to have a second surgery. So fast forward to this day and age, I've actually found that my quote unquote good knee, the one that I didn't tear, that's the one that really bothers me real bad lately. Do you ever have issues with the knee that didn't have the surgery bothering you, or is it strictly the one that you tore that bothers you?
No, I have issues with the other one, and I've had a doctor tell me that's because when your knee that you had ACL reconstruction in is hurting a lot, and you kind of naturally you're babying that knee, so you're putting a lot more weight on your good knee, therefore making your good knee your bad knee. So it's just
right.
I don't know, the circle of ACL reconstruction life, I guess. Like it's rough. Yeah, my other knee hurts a lot too, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, because like I'm actually wearing a knee brace on my good knee right now because lately, anytime I play for extended periods of time, that's the knee that bothers me. So, yeah, us people with the knee injuries, the struggle is real. The struggle is definitely real. But speaking of injuries, I've seen, I've actually seen quite a few posts from you documenting a lot of injuries in the last few months. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I will. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's actually really sad and disappointing. Someone told me when I turned 30 that my body would start falling apart, and I did not believe them, but it's true, I guess. Just tell me fun to talk about. There's so many.
So actually, Eddie, I think you have a picture of a recent injury of Katie's. I think now would be a good time to show that picture, and maybe we can have Katie kind of break down what happened. There we go. Ouch.
That's my cane. I named it Blaze Jr. That happened. I was playing in a tournament in Winona, Minnesota against mixed doubles against Dave Weinbach and Christy Dam. That happened the first game of our match. It happened about halfway through the game. I rolled it. I cut real hard one way, and then I had to cut the other way. I misread Christy's paddle when she was hitting a backhand because she had that punch backhand. I can't read that. That's, you never see that in tennis. I'm going to learn to read it, but right now I'm not great at reading that. I don't know if anyone is, honestly. But I misread her paddle. I cut to the left, and then she hit it down the middle. I was on the left side of the court. I immediately cut hard to go back to the middle. So I could see that's where she was hitting the ball. As soon as I cut right, I just went down. My momentum took me forward over my foot. I couldn't. I tried to get up. I immediately tried to get up and stay in that point. I couldn't get up. I couldn't put any weight on my left foot. So I just laid down on my back. I ripped my shoe off because I was a college athlete. I've had injuries. I kind of know the drill. So I ripped my shoe off. I was like, hey, I need a medical timeout. I need someone to wrap my ankle really tight, and I need just a lot of naproxen. So actually, I was playing with Jordan Hanish. His girlfriend wrapped my ankle for me. She did a great job. I told her, like, wrap it as tight as you can. I'm going to finish this match, and I'm probably done for the tournament. She wrapped it. I got up. I took a bunch of ibuprofen. I walked up and down the hallway, came back down, and we started playing the match again. I was in a lot of pain. We lost the first game, and then I guess adrenaline kicked in. I stopped feeling some of the pain. It was still pretty painful. Jordan played awesome. He kept me calm. He could look at me and tell when I was about to just start crying from the pain, and he would literally be like, I need you to not cry. We need to finish, you know, you got to finish this match. And I was like, you're right, man. I just need to suck it up. And we ended up winning the next 2 games. And as soon as it was over, I walked over to the court next to us. I took my shoe off. I laid down, elevated my ankle. That was the semifinals. I tried to play in the finals against Zane Navratil and Kasandra Gehrke, but my ankle was swelling so bad after the first game. It was cutting off the circulation to my toes. I couldn't feel my foot at all. So I unfortunately had to withdraw. You know, that's never how I want to lose a pickleball match or anything in my life in general, but I had to withdraw. I immediately had to go upstairs and cut the ankle wrap off of my foot, and I just started icing it. I iced it all the way home from Wisconsin. I rode home with Kasandra Gehrke. We had driven together. I had my foot on her dash the whole time, and I was icing it like 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 6-hour drive home. That picture you showed was the next morning. I've been getting treatment with a device called Beamer. It's Bemer. I actually don't have any swelling in my ankle today. None at all. And it doesn't hurt. Beamer is like a technology that hasn't quite caught on in the U.S. yet. So I actually bought one for myself, and I'm going to use it at home. It's been helping with my sleep. I believe it healed my ankle. When I went to the urgent care center the next morning, that doctor said, this is the worst sprain I have ever seen.
Oof.
He said I have a ligament in my ankle, and I feel like I could go run a marathon right now on my ankle. It's unbelievable.
Really?
So, yeah, like if anyone wants to know more about Beamer, send me a message. I'm a believer. I'm a huge skeptic of stuff like that. I called it witchcraft when they first put me on it, but like that's what healed my ankle. I'm like very convinced. So yeah, that was my ankle injury. That happened.
Well, I would say that story right there is just further proof how much of a beast you actually are on the pickleball court. I mean, you had a major ankle injury, and you ended up going on to win 2 more matches after that. That's pretty incredible right there. I think it's
your left eardrum actually bled that night.
Oh.
So just from my doctor said from just the blunt force trauma, it threw the entire left side of my body out of alignment, and it kind of burst my eardrum a little. So I couldn't hear for a couple days out of my left ear. Everything is fine now, though. I'm doing great.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. But yeah, I know firsthand, ankle injuries are no joke. I've never injured my ankle nearly as bad as you did. But I was playing ping pong this one time, and it was like a very intense game of ping pong. And I stepped weird and rolled my ankle horribly. And I kid you not, I saw stars. Like my vision flashed black. Like it was crazy. Luckily I didn't do any permanent damage, but I rolled it and stepped on it so weird that I just instantly jolts went through my body. My vision went out for a few seconds. I can't imagine what you went through with that type of damage that you got.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was pretty bad. It actually bruised from my little toe all the back of my calf to the back of my knee.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't doubt it, but yeah, I'd say that's enough of the injury talk. Let's go back to some positive stuff. What do you got on the social media, Eddie?
So Dottie Berry wants to say, Katie, you just don't quit. That makes you a winner.
Thanks,
Yes,
Dottie.
I agree.
Tuning in too.
Yeah, thanks, Dottie. We also have one here from Nicole Havlicek, and I'm wondering, is this the Nicole Havlicek from Primetime Video? The Nicole Havlicek that I watch, like, that I learned how to play pickleball from all the Primetime Pickleball videos on? I wonder if that's her, but she said, "Hi, Katie. Will you play the Golden State Championships in Concord, California, July 25th through the 28th?"
Hey, send me a message. I'm definitely going to send me a message. I'm interested in what availability. Send me a message.
All right.
All right, your signal was cutting out a little bit, but she said send me a message. So just yeah, go ahead and send Katie a message about that, and I'm sure she'll get back with you as soon as possible if she's able to make that. But so Katie, you were talking about during your ankle injury story, you talked about how you were with Kasandra Gehrke. We're huge fans of Kasandra Gehrke on the show. She's become a great friend of ours, and we've been seeing a lot of posts on social media lately with the two of you together. How long have you two been friends?
God, like not that long actually, but we're kind of one and the same. We just really hit it off when we started hanging out. Yeah, she's a great friend. We have a blast. We're pretty good at bingo, so if you ever want to come to Springfield to play bingo with us, hit us up.
I didn't realize you guys were 80 years old. You look really good for your age. You said you play bingo? Isn't that only for like 80-year-olds?
Well, you know what? We were actually not the youngest people there. Some of the people had their grandchildren playing. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But
actually, there was people around our age. There was maybe 5 of us.
But here I am talking about like something old people love, and we're pickleball lovers. I mean, that's it's like people always associate pickleball with the retired community, but that's the purpose of all of us. We're trying to prove that it's not just for old people; it's for all ages, especially the youth of the nation. So, yeah, that was bad of me to say that about bingo. Bingo is fun for all ages, I'm sure.
It's so fun. Everyone should be playing. We won like
but speaking of
that night.
What's that?
I said we won $300 at bingo that night.
Oh, nice. I need to start playing bingo.
That's what I'm saying, man.
So you said you were playing bingo with Kas. Speaking of Kas, Eddie, I think now would be a great time to show the video clip that we absolutely love. It features both Kas and Katie, and it's something that was provided to us by our buddy Scott Golden. We've shown it on their show in the past, but we can't get enough of it. It's such an amazing clip. It's definitely worth showing again. So I say, if we have it, we should roll it.
Oh, there it is.
Incredible athleticism by Katie McKee and Kasandra Gehrke. Hashtag never give up the fight. So as we see here, we got a nice little rally going here. And nice little save by Kasandra. But wait till you see what happens next. Look at this. Oh, an amazing save by Katie. This is incredible. A slide into the splits pretty much, and then an epic save for the point by Kasandra.
Oh.
I love that clip.
It hurt so much, though.
Is that what caused the ankle injury?
That's not. No.
Okay.
No, that was like clumsiness, really.
It looked impressive though. That was awesome. I love that clip. I've probably watched that. I've probably watched that at least 50 times. It's such a great video clip. That was awesome. Did you guys end up winning that game at least?
Yeah, we ended up winning that game. So that was against Stephanie Lane and Helen Wilhelm, they're both phenomenal 5-0 players. We ended up getting that match was the last match we played against them in the double round robin, and that put us ahead of them in points in the standings. So pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We just got a couple more Facebook notifications here. Brandon Swanson said Katie might be pro at bingo, but she's rubbish at crossfire.
Well, Brandon, are you coming? Like, when are we playing crossfire again? Because I've been practicing. I bought my own set.
That's awesome.
I actually watched that video. There was a live stream. I think Scott Golden posted it of you playing Crossfire. I kid you not, I watched it for like a good 5 minutes straight.
I didn't even know Scott was filming that until I looked up at one point and I saw Scott with his phone pointed at me, and I was like, oh, like for sure he's live streaming. When is Scott Golden not live streaming when he's pointing a phone in your direction?
Right?
I also did confirm that the Nicole Havlicek who commented was the Nicole Havlicek from Primetime Pickleball. So thank you for tuning in.
Nice.
Love your videos.
That's
Absolutely
awesome.
Love them.
Yeah, awesome videos.
Yeah.
And Brandon also said, in response to her asking about going to that tournament, he said, "Fly me out. I'll play with Katie at Golden State."
Someone fly Brandon out to Golden State. I can't. I'm poor. All my money-
Oh, that's great. And then Dottie Berry with another comment. She had a question for you. Katie, what's your favorite / best shot?
Ooh.
In pickleball? I like my inside out forehand, and that was one of my shots that I had in tennis. It was my strongest, was that inside out forehand. I can just roll it down the line. And I would do that in doubles tennis quite a bit, just roll it down the alley. So that actually transferred over really well from tennis. I like, yeah, that's probably my favorite shot.
All right. So Katie, you might not be aware of this, but we have a pretty exceptional team that does background checks on our guests, and we dug some information up about you that's pretty interesting, and hopefully you don't mind talking about it. But is it true that you turned down an offer to be Charlie Sheen's intern?
That is true. It was, I think it was right before he had his big meltdown. This company emailed me with a job offer to manage his Twitter account, and in my head I was thinking, I'm not going to touch Charlie Sheen's Twitter account with a 10-foot stick. So I forwarded that job offer on to one of my friends who was at Oklahoma State University at the time, and he applied and didn't get the job. So I don't know who ended up doing that, but they did a terrible job. You know, he really went nuts
Right.
on that. Yeah.
Maybe you should have accepted. You could have saved his career and not let him do the meltdown. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that good at social media, so it probably would have been bad.
So another thing, I love that story though. That's amazing. You turned down the offer to be Charlie Sheen's intern. How, like who gets an offer to be Charlie Sheen's intern? Katie, that's who.
Yeah, so weird.
But another thing that our team of crack background checkers found out is that you were the inaugural winner of the Pickleball Underground Hero Award. Is that true?
That is true. Brandon Swanson is, I don't know what to call him, the godfather, the head honcho, the head bee in charge of Pickleball Underground, and that's an award that he came up with. If he's still on, he could type out a comment kind of describing what the award is about, and you all could read it live. I don't want to butcher it. It's a really cool award, and I don't want to make it sound uncool.
I love the Pickleball Underground. I got invited to be part of that group on Facebook, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for talking about this, but I talked about this secret underground pickleball club that is located deep underground in Detroit. And yeah, I've said enough already. I'm going to stop right there. So is it true?
Tell me more about Detroit.
I can't. I've already said enough. The number one rule is to not to talk about that club, and I've already violated that. So I'm probably going to be in big trouble. So I'm going to move right along to the next question.
I'm a pretty good fighter.
It doesn't involve fighting. It's just it's a deep underground pickleball club, and like only certain people know where it's located. And but it actually kind of sucks because it's in a parking structure, and it's like the ceilings are very low, so like you can't even attempt to lob whatsoever. In fact, you like pretty much every serve hits the ceiling. Yeah, it's not even. I've said enough. That's enough about that. So have you ever been skydiving?
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't.
You heard me.
Your signal actually keeps cutting out, so I literally did not hear you. But it's all right. We will go to the next question. And
okay.
So have you been skydiving before?
I have been skydiving. It was a blast. I'm going to do it again after the U.S. Open with the one and only Randy Coleman. Do you know who Randy Coleman is?
Well, who doesn't know who Randy Coleman is? That's the question.
This is a question for me to ask. I call him my travel mentor. I get lots of travel advice from Randy. He's awesome. But yes, we are absolutely going skydiving after the U.S. Open. So we'll take some pictures and hopefully video, and should be a good time and call our parachutes as well. And you know, I'm kidding. We'll both be fine, I'm sure. I'm pretty lucky. I never get in. So skydiving's a pretty good idea. I'm certain it will be okay.
Yeah, you've got to be the most injury-prone person I know, so skydiving is a perfect idea for you.
It's really the best thing I can do for myself.
Oh, that's funny. So Brandon Swanson did respond before I go into the Pickleball Underground comment. He was talking about the Crossfire video that he posted, and he said it got more views than most of his Ernie videos. LOL. I'm assuming he was referring to Scott Golden's.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's funny. And in regards to the Pickleball Underground Award, he said the Underground Hero Award is for people that are doing cool things to positively impact the sport and its players. Katie was the overwhelming favorite to win this award. There were so many people that came forward and shared stories of the positive impact she's having. She was in the middle of organizing a fundraiser event for a friend with cancer when she won. And then he said, greatest injury while skydiving, ankle breaks. Think twice about it, Katie.
No, you don't land on your ankles. You push your feet out. You slide on your butt. Don't you know how to land a skydiving jump? You got to slide on your butt. You get hurt.
Yeah, Brandon, don't you know how to land from a skydive? Jeez.
Yeah, Brandon. Jeez, everybody knows that. I've never even skydove before, and I know that you slide on your butt and not your ankle.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Oh, we got Jack the Cat here. He's trying to sniff the M43 can. Jack loves the beer segment, so Jack's a little bit angry because we decided to cut out the full-blown beer review from the show, but he still manages to make his appearance and check out the beer situation. So thanks for joining the show, Jack. But I do actually want to get.
I have this.
You don't have any animals?
Empty. It's not a cat. There used to be beer in here. It wasn't mine.
Was it full of beer? Oh, okay. So it wasn't full of beer before the show, and you chugged it to get rid of the pre-podcast jitters?
Someone else drank all the beer, I think.
But I do actually want to get a little bit on the serious side here. You posted something on social media recently that I absolutely loved, and I want to read that post and get your thoughts about that,
Okay.
about where your mind was at the time. So you said, trying to remind myself of all the positive experiences I have had in pickleball and burying the rest. When you tear lots of ligaments in your ankle a month and a half before the U.S. Open and your physician says it's amazing that you are even able to walk, don't give up. When politics and name-calling start to impact your game, don't give up. When you wreck your car, lose your short-term memory for a month, and play horrible at Tournament of Champions, don't give up. When you get a blood infection in a freak accident and spend 8 hours in the emergency room under sepsis protocol, don't give up. Remind yourself of all the good you are doing in your life and set some new goals. Just don't give up. Hashtag Blaze Pickleball.
Yes, pickleball forum. Do you want it?
I love that. I love that post. I know you're talking to somebody else right now, but hello there, sir. I'm sure you remember the post I'm talking about, but I thought that was an awesome post. I loved it.
Yeah.
Very motivational. Do you want to talk about that a little bit, about where your mindset was, what was going on at the time when you posted that?
My mindset at the time, I've just had a lot of like pretty bad health scares since August. When I wrecked my car, I actually was nearly ejected. I passed out. I thought for a second I was dead. That was, one of the catalysts that caused me to really reconsider where I was working and what I needed to do to like live a better life. The blood infection was a freak accident. I actually scraped my knee at a pickleball tournament in Cape Girardeau, and a few weeks later it got infected. I ended up being allergic to the first antibiotic they prescribed, and I also was septic. When I went to the emergency room, I had red streaks going all the way up and down my leg. The doctor in the emergency room said if I would have waited another day to come in, it could have been life or death situation. I spent between 7 and 8 hours on IV drips in the ER. It was really scary. I again thought like this could kill me. That wasn't that long ago. That was right before a tournament I played in Owensboro, which I was still pretty sick at. I had a fever for a long time from that, and there's just been so much negativity kind of surrounding me for some reason, and I'm just really trying to, whatever is causing the negativity, I'm trying to cut that out of my life as best I can. I'm also trying to learn how to deal with that in a better, more productive, more positive way. So there were a lot of times this year I could have just given up, and I didn't, and I really feel like I'm on the path I'm supposed to be on now. So that's kind of where my mind was at when I made that post.
Yeah, that's I don't know. You're awesome. That's all I can say is you're awesome. I mean, you're like Mark said earlier, you're a beast. You're just so cool. You're such a fighter, a hard worker. I wish nothing but the best for you, the most success. And I mean, after all the stuff you've been through, I mean, you're such an upbeat, positive person. I think pickleball is a better sport because of you, having you in it, and it's awesome. I don't know what else to say. You're a very uplifting and motivational person. It's very cool.
Yeah,
Pickleball is a better place with you in it.
Yeah, I think I'm actually really reserved and shy and pretty quiet, and I have a bad case of what some people call RBF. You can Google that, Urban Dictionary that, if you don't know what it means, RBF. I think people get the wrong impression of me, and that's a struggle because I am like doing this interview is actually pretty difficult for me. I'm like so introverted, reserved, and shy. So I don't know. I just really want people to kind of get to know who I really am as a person before they pass judgments on to me, or my friends who then pass their judgments on to me. That's it. I don't let it bother me. I know I'm quiet and shy, and that comes off in a bad way. So it's cool. I don't care. I do care, but I'm not going to let it affect me too much, if that makes sense.
And just so you know, I did not know what RBF meant. So I looked it up just now. And for those of you that don't know, it means resting beast face. Resting hashtag beast face.
You pronounced it wrong, but that's pretty close. That middle word.
I'll let everybody else Google it if they really want to and Urban Dictionary it, but I think what I said is the better way to describe what it means for you.
I enjoy,
but man. But Katie, I can't thank you enough for being on the show tonight. Where can you tell everybody like what the best way is to follow you and see what you're up to as far as what's going on in your life?
Well, right now Facebook is the best way. I'm about to start a website and a page for Blaze Pickleball separately. I'll be sharing that on Facebook, Instagram. I'm going to start an Instagram for Blaze. I'm also on Instagram. I think I'm under katie.lee.mckee on Instagram. Follow me on Insta, follow me on Facebook. Twitter's coming soon for both myself as a player and my brand, Blaze Pickleball. Right now, those are probably the best ways to kind of, really I'm most active on Facebook just because I'm kind of old and that's what I'm used to, but I'm getting better versed in Insta, and I'm for sure getting Twitter, and I don't know, I guess I should probably get Snapchat, but do I have to?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You can if you want to, but Snapchat's not a necessity. The other ones are a little bit more of a necessity, but nah, you don't have to do Snapchat. It's all up to you. You do what you want.
I don't know. I'll see what I have time for. Yeah. But yeah, Facebook's probably the best way right now. It's Katie McKee. My profile picture, it's a photo of me with Daniel J. Howard Pickleball. Again, we'll be coaching together with Level Up Pickleball Camps, so sign up online for those. You get to hear my awkward monotone voice, teach you how to play pickleball. It'll be fun.
I think your voice is at least dual tone. I don't think it's monotone.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's funny. Before you go, Katie, a couple Facebook updates here. Obviously, DJ Howard's a big fan. He wrote, "Much respect, Katie." And then Glenn Lucy says, "Who is the death-defying babe? ? I think I'm in love."
Oh, Glenn, this is a heart. Can you see it? This is for Glenn Lucy. I'm your #1 fan.
Nice. Yeah, Glenn Lucy is pretty awesome. I host on the Pickleball Forum. And Daniel J. Howard, he's awesome too. I'm a big fan of Daniel J. Howard. He has amazing, uplifting comments all the time. It's yeah, he seems like a great guy. I've never met him. I need to meet him. He's in Michigan. We're both Michigan boys. So hopefully I'll get a chance to meet Daniel sometime very soon.
Why don't we all meet in Michigan? Why don't we meet in your secret Detroit underground parking pickleball arena and do a little show down there with DJ Howard?
Yes, that needs to happen, and yeah, we definitely need to make that happen.
So message DJ and I on Facebook, and we'll see when we're all available. Yeah?
Yeah, we will make that happen. That's definitely going to happen. No doubt about it. But man, yeah, like I said, Katie, thank you very much for joining us. Cannot thank you enough. This has been awesome. I loved
Yeah,
getting
this
to learn more about your background. You have pretty amazing history with pickleball already, and you said you've only been in it for like a year and a half or so. That's incredible.
Yeah, about a year and a half. It's nuts. It seems like it's been a lot longer.
That's pretty wild because like a lot of the people we've had on the show have not been in pickleball that long, yet they're huge names in the sport. Because I'm willing to bet a lot of people know who you are already. Scott Golden, I feel like everybody knows him, and he hasn't been in the sport really that long.
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie and Webby, we've only been in the sport for a little over a year, and we're probably like the most famous people in pickleball. No, I'm just kidding.
Like making a huge impact. Doing great.
But oh, thank you. But yeah, this is awesome. I really cannot thank you enough. This has been great. Who do you got there with you? Hey, what's up?
Some chicken and pickle customers.
We just played earlier.
Yeah.
This is the best place for regulars.
Yeah, come take lessons
Nice.
from me. Yeah, I'll give you
You
my
doing
name when this interview's over. Just
Okay.
hang out up here.
This is not really well fighter's work. It's
This is being live streamed on Facebook, Twitter, and something else.
It's the best.
Twitch.
Okay, yeah, I'll see you guys in a
Twitch
minute.
Chris. I love that. Stuff like that is awesome. That's what I love about live streaming and doing a live podcast is you don't know what's going to happen. People can just walk up out of nowhere, and I love it. It's very cool. And yeah. Eddie, anything else going on social media out there?
No, I think we're good. I got to tell you though, this is probably the most interactive episode we've had. You definitely have a lot of fans out there,
Yeah.
Katie. So really cool to see.
That's so awesome. That makes me so happy. You guys are doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
this is awesome. Thank you very much, Katie. This has been a very fun episode. I'm very glad that you joined us, and I wish you the most success possible with Blaze Pickleball. Everybody, just keep your eye out for Blaze Pickleball. The merchandise will be available, I'm sure, sometime in the very near future. And as you can see with the hat that Katie is holding, the hat that Katie is wearing, that's a sweet logo. I love it. And as soon as you have those available to sell, I am going to buy a hat, a shirt, whatever you have available.
I'm going to be in Evansville at the money tournament this weekend, and I'm going to have just a handful of hats with me for purchase. So if anyone's going to be near Evansville, come see me. I'll sell you a hat.
Nice. Those are going to
They're
sell
like
out within like 2 seconds. I guarantee it.
I hope so.
But yeah, this has been awesome. Thank you very much, Katie. And I hope you have a great night. And thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Guys.
Bye, Katie. Thank you. Wow.
Man, another awesome episode.
Yeah, that was so cool to have her on, man. So inspirational, motivational. Obviously, by the interaction you saw on Facebook, she has a lot of great friends in the pickleball world, a lot of great fans. I was when I first found out, Webby, that you were going to be the one kind of running with the interview, and I was going to have to, do the Facebook comments. I was a little bummed because I wanted to really interact with Katie. But honestly, there was so much cool stuff going on Facebook that it was also very exciting to be part of that as well.
Yeah, by far the most interaction we've had thus far, and that just shows how it's a testament to how awesome Katie is and how many people she's touched as far as like impacting them. It's that was great. Thank you very much, Katie, for being on the show. And
Yes.
definitely, like Mark said, #beast.
Oh yeah, great interview. Good job, Webby.
Oh, thank you. It's been a while since I've been on the podcast. I mean, you did the previous episode by yourself, and you did an amazing job. I felt like I had like extra pressure on myself to do this one. So hopefully I did like even just a fraction of the job you did last time, because the last episode was pretty epic, and I feel like this one was pretty epic as well, if I don't say so myself.
Well, you definitely delivered. Good work. Great job.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. What else we can talk about today here? I know we said we're gonna be under an hour. We're at 1 hour and 10, but I felt like that was just going so well that,
Yeah.
what? We had to keep rolling.
We almost met our goal, but I kind of blame Katie for that, for being such a great guest.
Yeah.
So it's partly your fault, Katie, that we were not under an hour, but it's well worth the fact that we're a little over an hour. But I feel like we can end this real soon, but we do have a couple of very important things to get to, and that's 2 contests, not just one, but 2 contests to give away 2 Eddie and Webby t-shirts. And Eddie, I think you should do the first one, which is the wrestling name contest.
The wrestling name. Okay, well, why don't we go through a lot of the submissions we had on Facebook. For those of you guys that don't know, this was a couple months ago, and we were asking for you to be able to do 2 things. One of them was to predict who was going to win Eddie versus Webby 2, which ended up getting rained out and moved to Eddie versus Webby 2.5. So that contest carried over, that Webby's going to talk about in a little bit. But the other thing is we wanted you guys to pick your favorite pickleball-themed wrestler names. And we're going to show you some of the best ones through Facebook here. Let's see. Andrew Evans with Moby Dink. Colleen Mendoza, the backdoor banger.
Heyo!
Yeah. Dee Dee Jackson predicted that I would win. Thank you, Dee Dee. And she also said Lobla Bigelow.
Nice.
Let's see here. Joel Phillips, thank you for saying Eddie for the win, but also said good luck to Webby. Rick Langford with Dinker, Failure, Older Guy. Rich Norris with a funny little joke that you guys should check out sometime. Then we have Georgia Lawrence with the Pickle Pod Punisher. Nice. Nicole Miller, who was my partner for Eddie versus Webby 2 and 2.5. She picked me to win, and she also she brought up the Savage Slammer. I think it's a good name. Yes. Jen Griffin, she thought that you were going to win, Webby, and Jen, I just gave you a free Eddie and Webby tank top last weekend in Naples, and I thought you were on my side, but apparently you're on Webby's side. You're on Team Webby. And she
made a great prediction. She made a great prediction, and I'm sorry, Jen, you should have been right. We definitely should have beaten Eddie's team, but we fell just slightly short. Slightly short.
Yep. But anyway, she said she's a free agent, so if we ever want partners, she'd be in, which is good.
Nice.
My buddy Rick Lorraine, he thought that I was going to win, and his wrestler name that he put out there was Diamond Dallas Dinkman.
Nice. I like that.
Yes. One more, or a couple more here. Rob Scott thought that you were going to win easily, and he went with Butt Cap Bob.
Sorry, Rob.
Yep. And Edward Dine thought that you were going to win as well, and he said Sweet Daddy Pickles.
Awesome submissions. That was just a few of the hundreds that we got. Those are some of our favorites.
Literally,
hundreds,
thousands.
if not thousands, if not millions. But those were just a few of our favorites. But I say we announce the winner.
Should I do a drum roll? And the winner is Lob Bigelow.
Nice.
Yes.
And who was the one that said that? So that one, the suggestion.
D.D. Jackson. Let me pull that up here. Yes, Lob Bigelow from D.D. Jackson. So, D.D., go ahead and send us your information. You can email it to contact@eddieandwebby.com. You can reach out to us on Facebook. Let's get in contact so we can get you a shirt. Congratulations, Dee.
Nice. Congratulations, Dee. That was a great wrestler name. But now I say it's time to get to contest numero dos.
Yeah, let's do it.
Which is translated to contest number 2. So what we did is we put the names of everybody that correctly predicted who was going to win the Eddie versus Webby match, which unfortunately was Eddie.
As you can tell
by
the belt right there. You can see the belt is back in Florida where it belonged.
It should have been me. It really should have. Wow, we should have won that match. The video's up on our YouTube channel if you want to check out how it went. We definitely should have won. We just fell short barely. They were both great matches. I got to say, those were great matches. You earned the victory in that case. For the first time ever, you actually earned that belt. The other matches were definitely not earned. But anyway, the people who correctly guessed that Eddie would win the match, their names are in this hat. You wouldn't guess that hundreds, if not thousands, would fit in this hat, but they did. And I am going to draw the name of the winner as we speak. And I'm holding the winner in my hand right now.
Ooh.
And I am going to reveal the name of that winner. And the name of the winner is Rick Lorraine.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Rick Lorraine. You are the proud owner of a new moisture-wicking Eddie and Webby t-shirt.
Yes, Rick. Rick was actually my partner at a pickleball tournament back in October, so super excited that he won that. Well, what else do we have to talk about today?
You know what? I think that's about it for the podcast for today. What do you think?
It is. We want to remind you guys, stick around. We're gonna shut out the show right now. We're gonna do our normal fade out. I don't even know what the right term is, but we're gonna fade away, but don't shut off the stream, because right after that we're gonna be coming right back live with Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby. It's a time for us to just hang out.
Yeah.
If there's anybody out there that wants to come on the show and you have access to a smartphone or laptop with a strong Wi-Fi connection and hopefully like some earbuds or something like that, we'd love to have you guys come on. If you do, reach out in the Facebook comments and we can arrange for that, or YouTube or something like that. So stick around.
Yep.
But
for the first time in history, we're going to have a caller on the show if somebody shows interest. We are also going to talk about so many pickleball updates that Eddie and I have been up to, but there's not enough time to do it on this podcast. But if you stay tuned for Dinking Around with Eddie and Webby, you're going to find out what happened at the Midwest Indoor Pickleball Championships. You're going to find out what happened at so many things. We have so many updates. You got to stay tuned for the next show to find out.
That's right. So many things. But this is episode 35. Thank you to all 35 of you out there that are still watching, listening to this. And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.